Hey y'all, Ms. B, and I'm here to recap Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 9, Unicorn Overboard. I want to say this episode was good, but it pissed me off. Let's get into it. I'm really not going to go every scene by scene. I'm just going to go to the things that, or the hot button topics, the topics of conversation based off this episode. So the episode opens up with the ladies doing yoga. During yoga, Brittany is already saying, she's telling Heather, I'm getting tired of all the pile on. It's getting a lot on me. Mind you, I am not a Brittany fan whatsoever. I've even called her Dingy Brittany myself in all my videos since last year. But I feel like it becomes a certain point when someone's a punching bag, when it's like, okay, y'all, this is a lot. I don't like bullying of any sort. And I think they pick on people who they know they can pick on. Meredith, we're going to get to you. So then after that, you see Meredith and Lisa in their room again. And Meredith, this time ain't Lisa, talking about essentially saying how dumb Brittany is and how she should be a Disney princess. Like, being a Disney princess is a bad thing. Everybody wants to be a Disney princess. Like, I wanted to be Ariel growing up. Anyway, I digress. Then after that, all the ladies sit down for breakfast. The way Meredith is acting at breakfast with Brittany is beyond. Now, I did know when Brittany, from the previous episode last week, brought up Seth in a TikTok, I knew that would send Meredith into a tizzy. We know how she is about her family. We know how Meredith Marks get about her family. But my thing of it is, what is the delayed reaction? Did you go and sleep on it? It like festered in your mind? Is some truth to it? Did you go to TikTok and just see it yourself? What is it that made Meredith the next day want to be on 1,000? That's exactly what Brittany was saying. You go 0 to 100. So anyway, they trying to eat breakfast. I'm just going to keep it really short. And Meredith is talking about this girl. She called her, I wrote all the things down, like some of the things down she was saying. She called her a pea brain. She ignores her. She's trying to talk to Whitney because remember, Whitney is the one who showed Brittany Brittany is the one who showed Whitney the TikTok of the girl saying she was an Uber driver for Seth and his mistress. So while Meredith has her back turned and Brittany is behind her talking to Whitney, Meredith is flinging her hair in this girl's face. I already said last week, Meredith then thrown water at this girl. Meredith then threw her headband hatchet last week at this girl. Now she's sitting there flinging her hair in her face, in Brittany's face. Now, I don't condone violence, but I will stand up for myself. Brittany, you're a better woman than I ever, because I wouldn't have been able to sit there and handle that. I would have tugged on Meredith. She would have swung that hair one more time, and I would have tugged on it. Just not pull it. Like Sheree did Kim that time on Housewives of Atlanta. I would have shifted her hair a little bit. I know it ain't no wig, but baby, her head would have been shifted, okay? So anyway, they all leave. They say goodbye to the crew, whatever. Then the crew was like, wait, they got the bags. Wait, they bring Brittany's unicorn. A part that I missed was earlier in the episode in Braun, when I'm a little disappointed in you. I know you and Brittany don't get along, but the bullying. I don't like it. When you and Meredith, you specifically went to Meredith because you know Meredith was in her bag about Brittany to go throw that unicorn overboard. But anyway, yeah, that was earlier in the episode. Braun, they disappointed me with you. And they threw her unicorn. So anyway, when they was getting ready to leave, the crew brought like, hey, here's your unicorn. And Brittany was like, why is it wet? And she walks away. Kind of made me feel bad. I'm like, I know it's a stupid gift. And I know it's weird. And that's how eccentric she is. And I know I call her Dingy Brittany, but y'all had to take that girl property and throw it in the ocean. And then I was wondering, how did they get it out the ocean? Anyway, moving right along. So we have a dramatic boom, boom. You know how Salt Lake City is with the music and the themes and all that, which I love. Of the airplane ride back. We do not get to see the airplane ride back, but all of the ladies are collectively telling the same story of how Meredith, when it got to the airport, started losing her shit with Brittany over the TikTok that Brittany brought up the night before. Again, questions were in my head. Meredith, did you sleep on this and it made you matter overnight? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to understand all the animosity and things that were built up. Why did it pass over? You got even madder the next day. I think Meredith had it out for Brittany since last season when Brittany said she was when they went on that trip last year, and she was in the room next door thinking that Meredith, or was alluding that Meredith was throwing up or whatever, like alluding she had an eating disorder or something. And now she's talking about her husband. So I get it, but like the way y'all handle it, I ain't like it. So the ladies are all in the confessional saying how uncomfortable they were getting with how loud Meredith was towards Brittany. And Brittany says, you know, all the ladies got in and she was the last aboard. And she's sitting, we see a seating chart later in the episode in front of Lisa and Meredith. And I want to say, production, why did y'all sit that girl there in front of them two ladies? Well, Lisa was supposed to be Brittany's friend. Remember, Brittany was defending Lisa all of the first episode, all of the beginning of the season. They were sisters and friends or whatever. But y'all already knew that Meredith was hot and upset in the airport. Why y'all didn't move the seats around? I mean, I know they were on a commercial plane, but was there any other people on this plane? I have so many questions about that. But anyway, then all the ladies said they started hearing Meredith screaming. Then Brittany said that, you know, her chair was being pushed. And basically, Meredith lost her entire shit. And this is what we had heard about last year, that Meredith had a breakdown of some sorts. Some people say she got fired. Some people say she just had a breakdown, pause production. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know. That's what the streets was saying last year. Apparently, they happened on this plane. And I want to know why nobody was rolling the footage. Or maybe they were. And then in Meredith's confessional, she's acting like, oh, you know, nothing happens. I was sitting there. I was talking to Lisa. You know how she's talking long, drawn-out sentences, acting like she on some downers or something, allegedly. And I was just explaining. And if I, you know, was doing all that, Air Marshal been waiting for me, or I've been arrested. Girl, you are a lawyer. And I'm sure you have plenty of connections. I'm sure Bravo didn't want that stain on them. I'm sure they worked out something with that crew and that plane and all those people who, if there was like regular civilians and not just the cast and crew, for you not to, you know, be arrested or all the bad things that you were listing, Meredith, because I think they think you really had like a mental break, like you lost your shit, like you were cognitively not there anymore. And Mary kind of says that toward the end of the episode, but we're going to get there. And I've also been seeing like this chatter on the internet, like this can't possibly have happened. Like, you know, Bravo is putting 20 on 10, you know, maybe they just saying it's to boost ratings, whatever. Everybody watched Salt Lake City. I don't think why they have to make up a Meredith Mark story. This is on brand for Meredith. Remember last year she screamed at the girl, I am sick of you. I am sick of you. You need to stop it. Remember how Meredith has been acting with Brittany since last year. This is on brand. She threw something at this girl twice. So I don't understand the chatter about like, people don't believe that this happened. And then also I feel like if it was other people that, like I said, I probably had them sign NDAs and that's why no footage was leaked. So 2 days later, Mary and Bronwyn meet up. Bronwyn, because she came on a different itinerary, different flight. She left on a different flight. So she didn't know anything about this. Mary updates Bronwyn. Then you see Whitney telling her husband what happened and how Meredith lost her shit and lost her damn mind, obviously. And you know, how Lisa was sitting there pouring more fuel to the fire. So Lisa and Meredith sat on this flight and essentially bullied the hell out of Brittany. This is what the ladies are saying. I mean, everybody can't be making this shit up. And it's like I said, it's on brand for Meredith to lose her shit. We've seen it before. But my thing of it is, Mary, you have so much god doggone smoke for Brittany, you know, from last season, like I said, and also from bringing up the TikTok. But we have that legendary high mic moment of your friend Lisa, your dear friend you kept referring her to, talking about you F everybody in New York City and how you oppose her. And all that other stuff she said on that hot mic. So how were you able to get past that? But you can't get past this with Brittany. You know, like I said, people know who to mess with. and who not to mess with. They feel like Brittany's an easy target. Meredith, all of them, honestly, they do. Bronwyn, you too. And they taunt her and they bully her. And when it gets to bullying, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So then next we have Heather meeting at, getting to the Hyatt, and Brittany's there. You could tell something bad happened. That girl looked traumatized. And she was giving more, elaborating more about how, she started to hear Meredith over her earphones. She started shaking her seat. She was demanding she bring the TikTok. And I was thinking to myself, bitch, I would have told her, bitch, let me tell you something. Pull up TikTok yourself and go look for your husband. If I saw it, I know you saw it. Don't your friend Lisa have all the connections in the internet streets? Why she couldn't pull it up? Why did you demand that she give you her phone? I wish I would. Okay. Anyway, you could just tell when Heather and when Brittany was saying that lady was traumatized. The lady looked clearly traumatized. And she was also saying, like, how Lisa was just egging it on and just constantly fueling Meredith up. And everything that they're saying is complete nasty work to me. I did not like it. I did not like the way it made me feel. And I feel like, I hope Bravo, NBC Universal gave, if this did happen, like they're saying it happened, which I don't believe they would make this up, because this is a very good show, and they don't need this extra drama of Meredith losing her fucking mind to make ratings. Like, it's a good show. Anyway, then you have after the scene of Brittany breaking everything down, like Meredith shaking her chair and screaming in her ear and cussing her out, and Lisa pouring fuel to the fire. You can clearly tell she's she's still traumatized. Then you have Bronwyn and Whitney meet up for lunch. Now, skirt, I did not know. I didn't even hear about Todd. All I heard about Bronwyn last year is about her criminal stuff. I never heard about her husband looking at women on the plane. Anyway, she's sitting there telling Whitney, because Whitney was telling her, how Meredith lost her shit on the plane, and she was like, well, I guess Todd and Meredith had that in common because he lost his shit on a plane too by looking at other women on his iPad, whatever, his phone, and another passenger saw it and reported it to the blogs. One thing I forgot to mention, something that Whitney said in her confessionals about when it pertains to Meredith, before I get to the conversations with Whitney and Bronwyn about husbands. Whitney said the bullying that Meredith's doing to Brittany, she said she don't know if it's fueled by alcohol, pills, etc. Allegedly. I agree. The way Meredith acts so erratic, the drop of a dime gives that. Okay, so let's go back to Bronwyn and Whitney's conversation. And Bronwyn's telling her, how basically she wouldn't mind if Todd, went out and messed with somebody else, and if Lisa, she wants to know. She wants to be in the know. And Whitney kind of says, basically they have friends that have open marriages or arrangements or agreements. Like, I need to know who this is. I need to approve it. And Bronwyn was like, yeah, like, I know he's older than me, just like Whitney's husband's older than her. Like, they have a lot in common. They both ex-Mormons and all of that, and they done with the church. And she was saying, so if Lisa Barlow hit me like, well, I heard about your husband, she could be like, yeah, bitch, I picked him for him. I picked her for him. Okay, so that's a real grown-up shit. You got to be really mature and really grown up to deal with that. But they both dealing with older men, and Whitney has always been that wild, free spirit. I can see it in her, but bro, I don't quite see it in you. But bro, when the people are saying like, you soft lunching a divorce, like you soft lunching a divorce, which kind of tracks the way he treated you last season and how you always coming to this camera telling us all your damn business. I mean, I know you're on a reality show, girl, but like every time you telling us some nigga you did that last season, you doing it again, telling us all the bad shit in your marriage with Todd, okay? But anyway, I'm gonna skip Angie K's and her daughter's moment. It was cute, beautiful, but I just want to go into Lisa and Heather meeting up. Lisa sat there and did the whole Lisa fucking gaslighting 1, 2, 3 line that she always does. Why me? Not me. Couldn't do it. Who said it? Why you blaming me? I thought we were friends. You're my friend. She's my friend. We're friends. I was talking. I didn't do it. Just a whole bunch of no accountability at all. I'm surprised she didn't start crying. She almost did. Surprised she didn't start crying and putting on her side like, I don't know why everybody's doing this to me like she always does. Annoying. That scene annoyed me. And Heather, I have a question for you. And in no right answer. At the beginning of the season, you was all up Lisa's ass. Now on the boat, you were trying to hold Lisa accountable for leaking stuff. Now you're trying to hold her accountable for this Brittany stuff. As you should. Like, you should call her, pull her coattail on that. Saying, telling her how Brittany doesn't want to be around her or Meredith. But what happened between you and Lisa? Did we miss something? Because when they went camping at the beginning of the season, you was just like, oh, Lisa this, Lisa that. You and Brittany both like, oh my God, Lisa walks on water. Oh my, Lisa's the end all be all, the alpha, the omega, the beginning and the end. And now you just going in on Lisa. So I don't like Lisa. I'm not defending it. You should do it. Because that was wrong what they did to Brittany. But what happened, girl? Did we miss something? We missed something because you now like on a Lisa give me accountability train right now. So then after that, I'm just going to skip to the end of the episode, which is Mary. And Mary is the only one, and I said this last week, the only one that will be able to have a conversation with Meredith about this. Because if it's anybody else, Meredith would have chewed them up and spit them out. But I feel like Meredith and Mary have such a connection, a friendship for real in real life, that they have a lot of respect for each other. Because Mary kept saying, are you okay? Like they were sitting down at the bar. But girl, is you okay? And she was like, because I need to know if you're, because you lost your damn shit, girl. You lost it here. And she even says, Mary says in her confession, she was like, it's crazy that Meredith don't know how long she was screaming, ranting, bullying, and acting a goddamn fool on that plane with Brittany. That's the scary part. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but I'm summing it up that she said it like that. And Meredith went into her, if I was doing all that, Mary, I don't know, you don't understand. Mary was like, girl, I was on the plane, I do understand. But you were asleep. But bitch, I heard you in my sleep. I watched 2 movies at the same damn time. But girl, you were still going off. Well, I don't know. Why didn't nobody arrest me? Because girl, the production, they had them people sign NDA. So it just made completely no sense. And I cannot stand Meredith and Lisa for the same reason. They both have this in common. When they do shit, they do not take accountability. Now, Meredith, I know you could have been like, I'm mad because the girl was talking about my man. I'm mad because last season she was alluding that I had an eating disorder or whatever. But the bullying stuff, that's too much. And I'm glad Mary held them accountable. And I'm glad production showed where Mary was sitting and where Meredith and Lisa were sitting. And where Brittany was sitting. Because it's an airplane, girl. Even if you're on the other aisle of the airplane, if someone's screaming, yelling, shaking somebody's seat and acting a goddamn fool, everybody's going to hear it, girl. You wouldn't buy me. It wasn't like she was brawling. It wasn't like Mary was brawling and in a whole different flight. No, girl. She was just on the other aisle. Cue up the footage. Cue up the seating chart. She was just across the aisle on the other side. Hello? I literally rode an airplane with my kids before, and like some seating had to get shuffled around, and I'll be on the other side of the plane, and I could still tell what they're doing on the other aisle of the plane. Like, Meredith, you're not making sense. Your excuses and all your non-accountability is not making sense at all. Long drawn out words and shit. Anyway, I love when Mary said, I guess, what'd she say? Meredith is in Mars and we in Venus. Words couldn't be better spoke. And then I also love the way Mary said, if you never take accountability, you never grow. You never grow. Own your shit, Meredith. And Lisa, oh, I can't stand you. And Bronwyn, I'm disappointed in you. Because Bronwyn, you said that too. You was like, I mean, you asked the same questions that I asked, like, where's the footage? But girl, like, y'all on a TV show, like, Bronwyn ain't gonna be liable for Meredith to have a nervous fucking breakdown on Brittany and bullying that girl for everybody to know, for the whole world to know. They don't want that on them. Anyway, y'all, that was this week's recap of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Tell me what y'all think. Tell me your thoughts. Bro, I'm a little disappointed. You still my girl, though. You still my girl. I'm still a little disappointed. It seems like you about to soft launch a divorce. You said you ain't got no prenup. We want prenup. We want, girl, you said you ain't got no prenup last season. I remember that. Because you said Todd is such a savvy businessman. Y'all didn't need one and whatnot. And you seem very smart, you Virgo. Anyway, y'all, again, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Bye.